kids are going to show you a scary good time.
You've caught my eye!
Step right up! Come on, come on! Welcome to the carnival.
Attention all kiddos! I found a lost parent!
With this ring?
I do.
Strange that you and I have never spoken on the phone. This is long overdue.
What's up, Haunters? I'm Alex, as always, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out all the new 2024 Spirit Halloween animatronics that just got released the other day. So anyways, let's get started. So hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Like I said in the intro, today we're checking out Spirit Halloween's new for 2024 animatronics. This year's lineup looks pretty decent. There's a couple of really good animatronics, a couple of bad ones, some in between. Overall, it's a pretty alright lineup. So now enough talking, let's get checking out the first new animatronic.
Cross the threshold where the dead walk free. Enter, and in the darkness you will find me.
So this animatronic right here is of course the new 6.2 foot cremator animatronic. And this guy right here isn't as much of an animatronic as he is a prop. There's nothing too crazy about this guy. He doesn't have any animation, but he does have that cool flame effect. I do like the look of him. It's nothing crazy. It's just this hooded figure with the fire and everything. Overall, pretty decent. And for price on this guy, he's going to be right around $200, which is just an alright price. Doesn't have any animation, but it is a pretty big 6-foot figure and it does have that flame effect. So overall, pretty decent animatronic. Nothing too crazy that I would buy, but cool to see that Spirit this year. And the next animatronic we have here is probably my favorite that has come out from Spirit so far this year, and one that I probably will want to get this year. This animatronic right here, of course, is Wanda Webwork. So Wanda here is a really unique prop. We've got lots of spiders in the past, but usually they just look like a typical spider. But this one right here really takes spiders to the next level. I love the face that they gave to it. It's really creepy. And the way they kind of posed it with the arms sticking out and then like the gigantic legs. Overall, it's a really cool concept and just a really unique animatronic. I think one of the reasons why I love this one so much is because I'm a huge fan of when they make spider animatronics. And for them to take a spider and just take it to the next level and make it even more creepy is just so cool to me. Unfortunately, there are no known demos of this prop yet, except from what we got in the teaser today. So we don't know too much about what its animation is. Reading into the description, it looks like the mouth moves and then the arms move. But really, other than that, we don't know too much about the prop. And if you're wondering on pricing for this prop, it will be $270, which for a 6-foot prop like this, with the animation and everything, I don't think it's too bad of a price, but still definitely higher than it could be. Overall, awesome animatronic and probably my favorite of the year so far from Spirit. And the next prop we have here is one that I'm going to say is the worst animatronic of the year. This guy right here is Night Terror. So Night Terror here is honestly something I expect Walmart to sell, but not Spirit Halloween. This prop right here really just has nothing going for it. It's just a simple pack animatronic. All features of the head that just kind of goes up and down. And overall, it's not too rich of a look. We've gotten tons of props like this from Pack where it's this pumpkin wearing the robe and everything. Overall, it's just not that good of an animatronic. The one alright thing about it is price-wise, it's only $100 for a 6-foot prop. But of course, price goes along with quality. Pack animatronics like this one are usually not built that great and break easily, and I should know because I have a Pack animatronic. So overall, a terrible animatronic, and I have no idea why Spirit decided to sell this. And moving on from that horrendous animatronic, the next one we have here is the Dark Princess. Now, the Dark Princess here is an animatronic that's kind of like a reskin of Dagger Mike from last year, I think. It has basically the same animation, but instead of it being a clown, it's supposed to be this Dark Princess, I guess. From the looks of it, it looks like this little girl, but with wings, so maybe it's kind of like an angel, I guess. Overall, nothing too crazy. It looks alright. Its animation is alright. Is it an animatronic that I would say is one of my favorite of the years? Definitely not. Is it one that says the worst? Definitely not. But I definitely would rank it at the lower end of the all-right animatronics for this year. And price-wise on this, it will be retailing for $170, which for a 4.5-foot animatronic, $170, not too bad price. It is good jump scare and everything. Overall, just an all-right animatronic. And now moving on, the next prop we have here is Maxstraw. So Mac here is definitely not what I was expecting them to release for a new Scarecrow animatronic. I originally pictured him kind of being like on a pole or something like a normal Scarecrow, but instead they kind of went the way with this guy where he's holding on to the pitchfork and everything, which honestly is really cool. This guy also looks pretty cool. They just kind of gave him a classic type look Scarecrow face, but they kind of made it a little bit different in their own way. I really wish they would have given him more animation though, because the only animation he has is where the head turns side to side. It would have been so much better just to see like more animation from this guy. And if you're wondering on price for this guy, is going to be rated at $180, which for a prop like this, that price definitely seems pretty fair. He does also stand right around 8 feet tall. I think that's the height of the pitchfork itself, so this prop itself is probably right around 7 foot. Overall, I wouldn't say he's the best animatronic this year. I'd say he's more of just an average one, but still, he's pretty cool and I can't wait to see him in stores. And next up, we got an animatronic straight out of 2017. This right here is Giant Death Ray. So Giant Death Ray right here is a new alien style prop, and I've got to say he might be one of the best alien props we've ever got. We've never really gotten too many aliens in the past. I think it's because most people don't really associate aliens too much with Halloween, but it's definitely cool that this year we are getting a new alien animatronic. So the animation on this guy is nothing too crazy. It's really just his head that moves side to side. Other than that, no other motion, but he does also have this weird light effect where it's kind of lights that are going through his body, which is really strange, but it does add a nice glow to the prop. He's also a really big animatronic at that 10-foot mark, which is crazy. Overall, it's a really interesting animatronic, and for price on this guy, he is going to be $350, which seems like an alright price. He has a really big prop. He doesn't have too much animation, but he does have that cool light effect, so $350, not too bad a price. And just like I said for the last prop, this guy is not the best animatronic we've ever gotten, but it's still a fairly cool one, decent animatronic to get this year. And the next prop here is kind of like a reskin in a way, but this right here is the Gravestone Ghoul. And I say reskin, but it doesn't even seem like too much of the reskin of the other prop I'm thinking of. But basically, a couple years ago, Morse Costumes released another Ghoul animatronic, and basically that one and the one Spirit Halloween just released look very similar and have the same animation. The main difference though between this one and Morse Costumes is this one actually features a tombstone, which is really cool. And honestly, I've got to say, I think I prefer Spirit's version over Morse Costumes. So Gravestone Ghoul overall is a pretty decent prop. The look of it's nice. I like how it looks and everything. Especially that tombstone there, that's really awesome. I love when they make tombstones for props. They always look so much better than the cheap foam ones, so that's really cool. And for price on this guy, he is going to be $180, which I feel like should be lower, especially since he's just a tiny 3-foot prop. But for what he is, he's an alright looking prop. And is he one I'd buy this year? Maybe. Not the best soundtrack we ever got, but still, he's a cool one to see at Spirit for this year.
This is the point of no return. Your cries and screams are futile.
And the next prop we have here is another one of my favorite animatronics for 2024. This guy right here, of course, is the demonic Gatekeeper. This guy is definitely another one that will be on my wish list for props I want this year. I love the look of him. It's just a classic Reaper look, but they did do a really good job on it. I like how he has that mouth movement, which is cool because a prop like this doesn't seem like they'd add mouth movement, but I like that they actually decide to add it onto him. And his animation is also cool. He rises from 3.5 foot to right around 4.5 foot, which is really cool, and the animation looks awesome. You can also hook this guy up to a fog machine and have fog just spraying out of his chest. Overall, this guy is so awesome. And for pricing on this guy, he will be $200, which for this prop, $200 does not seem like too bad price. He does have the 2 motions you can hook up to a fog machine, and he does rise to 4.5 feet tall. So overall, $200 is not too bad. And this guy is definitely my favorites for this year and one that I will want to get. And next up, we have an animatronic that I was really excited to see more details about. And now that we get a full view of this guy, I've got to say he's another one of my favorites for this year. This guy right here, of course, is Barnaby the bear. Unfortunately for this guy, we do not have any footage yet of exactly what he does. But from the sounds of it, it looks like he's kind of just bouncing on the ball, which is really cool. Even though I don't know too much about this guy's animation or anything yet, he's still one that I really love just because of the look of him. He's given me Knott's Berry Farm vibes, kind of. I think it's because of just the bear look with the purple suit and everything. Reminds me of Knott's Berry Tales. But overall, he just looks so awesome. I love the look of the bear. He looks pretty scary. And then, yeah, just that suit and everything he has on in the ball and everything. It all looks so cool. And Barnaby here is surprisingly going to be 6 feet tall. I expected him to be more like 4 foot or something. But it's really cool that he will be at that 6 foot mark. And for pricing on him, he is going to retail for $280, which for a 6 foot prop, $280 seems about how much they sell for nowadays. So not the worst price ever, but also not the best. And overall, cool prop, another one that I'm going to have to add to my wish list for this year. So next up here, we got what looks to be knockoff Pinocchio. This guy right here is the 7.7 foot Bobby Strings. So looking at Bobby Strings right here, he's a puppet style animatronic on strings. From reading the description, we don't have a video out yet of him, but from the sounds of it, his animation will consist of his arms and legs moving up and down. I believe he will also have mouth movement. Overall, the look of him is pretty creepy. I like the face design they chose, the outfit and everything. It all looks really nice. From the looks of it, Bobby Strings will also feature multiple phrases. Looks like he'll have 5 in total, and each one actually looks like it's pretty long, so he does have a lot of dialogue, which is a pretty good thing for the prop. And for pricing on this guy, he will retail for $310, which does seem a bit pricey, but do keep in mind he's over 7.5 feet tall, so he is a pretty big prop. And from the looks of it, he'll have a lot of awesome animations, so I think $310 won't be too bad price. So overall, for Bobby Strings right here, I wouldn't say he's the best animatronic this year, but I will still say he's a pretty cool one. It's probably going to be somewhere high on my list of favorite props this year. And moving on, the next animatronic, unfortunately, we do not have any demo videos of yet, but he does look pretty cool. This guy here, of course, is the Ren Master. Now, this guy here is really cool. Just looking at him, there's nothing too crazy about him. The face design does look pretty cool. Overall, other than that, the body and everything, he just wears that simple suit that any carnival person would wear. The really cool part about this guy is actually the animation. Looking at the photos here, we can see that his chest lights up with this face of this skull on it, and then he also leans back. And I'm not exactly sure what he does, but it does look like a really cool concept. And I especially love how it has that projection on the inside. That is really cool. And he is a pretty big prop. He stands 7 feet tall, and he will be retailing for only $330, which doesn't seem like too bad price because he's such a big animatronic, and he does have some nice features. So overall, cool animatronic. Another one that I might say is one of the best for this year. Not sure if he's one that I would get, but still, he is really cool.
Yum, yum, yum! Sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's not. One thing I'll tell you though, it'll do more than rot your teeth out.
And the next prop here is one that I have to say looks like it might become the most overrated prop of the year. But this guy right here is Cotton Candy Dan. So this animatronic right here is a pretty cool one. It's this clown that is making this cotton candy, but the big surprise is a human head pops out of cotton candy, which is a really good jump scare and overall a cool idea for an animatronic. Overall, the look of the clown and the human head and everything, it all looks really cool. Is it the best animatronic we ever got, though? I probably would say it's not. Is the best animatronic this year so far? I'd say it's probably one of my favorites of this year. Not the best, but still a pretty cool one. And for pricing on Dan here, he will retail for $330, which does seem a bit high. He does feature a lot of animation and everything, and he's a pretty big prop. But anyways, he is still a cool prop and one that is cool to see at Spirit this year. And now moving on to the last non-licensed animatronic that has been revealed this year. This guy right here is Nibbles the Clown. So overall, Nibbles here, nothing too crazy. He's just kind of the new clown animatronic for this year. Take a look at him. He has this cool jester hat on the top of him. The color scheme they chose for his clown is also pretty cool. Not like anything we've really seen before. I like the face on him too. It's a really cool face design. And of course he is holding the lollipop in the one hand, which is cool too. Unfortunately for Nibbles here, like some of the other animatronics, there was no demo video posted yet. But from the looks of it, he's going to have nothing too crazy of animation. I think he has mouth animation and he just kind of turns side to side or something. Overall, not the craziest prop ever. He's still a pretty cool one. Not one I'd say is the best of the year, but still cool one to see.
With this candle, I will light your way in darkness. With this ring, I ask you to be mine.
You kept your promise. You set me free. Now I can do the same for you.
And the next animatronic, or I guess animatronics here, is Emily and Victor, which are kind of a pair of animatronics, but they're also not a pair. Let's talk about them. So I originally thought that Emily and Victor here would be sold as a pair because both of them are kind of animatronics that would interact with each other, so it would make sense. But surprisingly, they did actually make these two animatronics, so you have to buy them separately, and they're each $280 each. So to buy both of them to have them as a pair would be over $500. I'm curious though what would happen if you bought only one of these animatronics, because they're supposed to be interacting with each other, so does it have different audio if you just have one of them? I don't know, I'm interested to see that. Overall, look at these two animatronics. They do look pretty much like how they do in the film, and they do feature servos in them, so they have that nice fluent head motion. Overall, these two props are really cool. Would really wish they would have sold these as a set, but for what it is, they're cool to see at Spirit this year. And next up here, we have a new animatronic, which I'm not too excited about because we've just got so many of these over the past so many years. But this guy, of course, is the brand new Michael Myers. So Michael Myers here, compared to the other ones we've got in the past, is nothing too crazy. I do like the new head design they did add to this guy, though. That's really cool. And the animation's pretty decent. He turns side to side and has the knife moving and everything. But overall, it's just pretty much like we've gone before, so nothing too crazy to do with him. So overall, not the craziest animatronic ever, but still a pretty cool one. And for price on this guy, he will be $280, which seems like the standard now for 6 foot or above animatronics. So overall, is he one of the best this year? Probably not. Is he the worst? I wouldn't say he is, but still, he's not really a prop that I would get.
You teach a class about slashers, and you still walked into a dark alley. Alone.
Strange that you and I have never spoken on the phone. This is long overdue.
And now the last animatronic that was released, which is a really cool one and one that I'm excited to see at Spirit this year, this guy right here is the brand new Ghostface. So Ghostface here is so awesome. He's definitely way better than that crappy Ghostface we got a couple years ago from Spirit. And I might have to say he might even be better than the original Gemmy Ghostface, which is one of my favorite licensed props of all time. I just love the animation on this new guy. It looks awesome. And overall look of him looks pretty much like it does in the movie, which is awesome. So Ghostface here, of course, will be sold for $280, which seems like just the average price now for over 6-foot animatronics at Spirit. And this guy is again one of the best ones of the year. Another one that I might have to get this year. And with all said, that is all of the brand new Spirit Halloween animatronics for 2024 that got released yesterday. There's still a couple more to come that have not been released yet. And of course, there's a couple of return props which I did not talk about in this video because they're basically the same themes we had in the past, just brought back. And of course, we also got Art the Clown a couple weeks ago, but I decided not to include him in the video just because we already saw him and I already talked about him a bit. Overall, looks like a pretty decent year. There's a handful of really bad animatronics, a handful of really good ones, and then a bunch of animatronics in between that are just alright. Overall, a decent lineup, and I'm excited to see some of these props in store. And with all that said, that's it for today's video, everyone. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and turn notifications so you never miss a future upload. And anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.